วัสดีครับพระอาจารย์ครับครับฟังไหมครับ
Greetings to you all. Welcome to another Zoom meeting on the discussion of Dharma practices. We shall start with our first participant, which happens to be Felicia Chan from Malaysia.
Good evening, Prajan. I don't have question for today. My meditation practice is good. Thank you, Prajan. Dharma teaching. Sadhu,
Okay.
sadhu.
You should be happy then. If you're,
Yeah, very
okay.
happy, very calm, very peaceful.
Okay, good.
Okay, sadhu, sadhu.
Next, Yogbe from New York.
Good evening, Prajan.
Any question from you tonight?
Yes, I do. I just want to mention why the Buddha have to. The Buddha said that we pick up the food in the. Why they pick up in morning time is not for the afternoon time.
Can you repeat the question again?
No, I said the mom go out and pick up the food. Why they not go out with the afternoon? Why they have to go up in the morning time?
Well, that's probably the best time to start the day with, because in the old days, people are villagers, they are farmers, and they have to go to the field. Once they finish having their breakfast, then they would go out to work in the field. So if you go any other time, there would be no people in the village. So you go in the morning when they prepare food for themselves, and then they also prepare food for the monks. So after the monk came and they gave food, then they will then they can head to the field, to the farm, to do the farming.
Okay, and the next question: how come the monk have to eat the food before 1 o'clock, not after 1 o'clock?
That's the rule, just the 8th precept, and you have to eat before noon.
Okay, and also the Buddha have mentioned that everybody have to eat the veggie.
No. Buddha said it's up to you. As a lay person, you can eat anything you want. But for monks, we cannot tell lay people what we want to eat and not want to eat. It's up to lay people to give us the food. So we cannot tell lay people like you say, I'm a veggie, you can only give me vegetarian food. I don't want any meat. And this would not be the principle of a beggar. A beggar has no choice. Yeah. Beggar takes whatever given.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn, thank you.
Okay. Next, Nandapat from Bangkok.
นมัสการค่ะท่านอาจารย์ tomorrow early morning I will travel back home to Ubon Ratchathani and plan to stay for a long time ค่ะท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ Today I don't have any question ค่ะท่านอาจารย์
All right. Okay. Next, get Yenso from Penang.
Hey, Ajahn. Yeah, good evening. No question today. Yeah.
Gok Seng from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. I have no questions. Thank you, Ajahn.
Professor Kenneth from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Tanajan.
How are you today? Good?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Just working a bit too hard. Finished now for the day, so that's fine.
The work is never done. There's always new work to do.
Oh,
You
yes.
finish with the work today, and tomorrow there'll be another work for you to do.
It's a never-ending story.
Yes. Only Dhamma work has an ending.
Yeah,
Once you reach Nibbana, then you don't have to do any more work.
right. So, Tanajan, I was thinking more about the question and your advice from last week. I was talking about certain individuals who really trigger the anger. And you said something that struck me quite a lot. It could be that I despise this person or these sorts of people. And yes, I think that is not something I like to admit, but it seems to be true. So my question is, if there is someone around that you can't really avoid, who you actually despise, actually, what's the best way to get along or to behave in a good way in that sort of situation?
Practice loving kindness. The Buddha say we should try to practice loving kindness to all beings, not just somebody you love only, but all beings, whether you love them or not, whether you love them or hate them. If you hate them, you should forgive them for their transgression. If they did anything wrong to you, you should forgive them. And you should do not hurt or harm them physically or mentally. And if you can, give them happiness, make them happy by sharing what you have, for instance. This is the practice of metta or loving kindness that we should do to everybody, not just selected people, group of people. Do it to everybody. Look at all of us as we are in the same boat. We are the travelers in the rounds of samsara. We are fellow travelers, and we all have enough dukkha on our own. So there's no need to put more dukkha on other people. Look with sympathy or look with empathy to our plight. And we are all in the same boat. We are in the same suffering world. And we should try to alleviate as much suffering from other people as much as possible, if we can. If we can, then we just use upekkha. We just have to leave it to the law of karma. Some people reap the fruits of karma and they're happy, and some people reap the fruit of bad karma and they suffer. So this is their own doing, and sometimes we cannot help them in this regard. But we should never hurt or harm anybody or hate anybody. By just looking at them, it's like looking at yourself. If you don't hate yourself, then you should not hate other people. Because hatred is bad for us. When we hate, we become unhappy. Our minds will be agitated. But when we forgive and give up our hatred, the mind becomes peaceful and calm. And we have to accept that people are all different. We all have different preferences, characteristics. So we cannot expect everybody to be good or bad. There's some good people, some bad people, and some in between. So we just have to, if we have to be near them, we just try to, just try to be friendly. If they don't accept our friendliness, then we just have to use ubekha, equanimity, and just stay aloof. Don't stay close to them if they don't want you. If you're not if you feel you're not welcome, then you stay away from them. There's no need to change them, no need to change yourself in order to be able to fit with each other. Sometimes just don't fit, shoes have many sizes, right? So sometimes we find the people and we just know that we don't fit with each other. So the best way is just to stay apart as far as possible, as much as possible. If we should be near them, we just exercise mindfulness and friendliness.
Okay.
Don't try to change people or frustrate yourself.
Yeah.
You cannot change them, they have to change themselves. And by your good behavior, you might be able to change them. If they see that you are not that bad after all, then they might start to treat you better.
Okay.
And same way with you toward other people. Okay, does this sound good enough? Sensible enough?
That's very clear, very helpful, Thanajan. Thank you very much.
Okay. Our two brothers and sisters, Om and Aim. How are you? You have to unmute your microphone.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm very good.
Okay.
I have one question.
Okay.
If we play game and they're killing, is it bad?
It's not bad, but it's not good either. We should not play game that kill people, even though we don't actually kill them yet. But we are training our mind to accept killing as something normal.
Yes.
We should despise killing, okay? And play game that shows compassion and love toward other people. Don't they have games like that? Don't they have games that in which you go help people, go help the sick, help the poor?
Okay. I also have a question.
All right.
When I'm naughty with my mom, is it a sin?
When you're not one with your mom, repeat your question again.
When I'm naughty with my mom, is it a sin?
When you're naughty with her, it's not a sin, but it's not a good practice. It's not good behavior. Not beautiful, not nice. People don't like naughty people. So try to behave yourself. Then you'll be loved by everybody. Okay?
Okay. Yes.
Is that all?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll say good night to you now, okay? Go to sleep. Sleep early so you can get up early and maybe go and come and give food in the morning.
Okay.
Okay, good night.
Bye. สวัสดีครับ
Good day. Next, Karen from San Jose, California. Hi, Karen. Have you rested yourself more or less?
Good morning. I don't know. I feel tired lately. I think I'm having a difficult time dealing with a dying dog. And
You just have to accept the fact that there's sunrise and there's also sunset. Everything has to come to termination sooner or later. Everything, everybody. Look at the whole picture, total picture. Then you see it's just a natural thing.
yes, I know that intellectually, and I've been better about just going through the motions, like your teachings about when you have work that you don't really want to do, don't think about it, just do it. Just go through the physical motions and don't think about it, because there are things with a sick dog who's incontinent that it's challenging. Most of the time I'm really good. I did lose my temper with her yesterday. I tried washing her and she was fighting me, and I just went, she's so stubborn. And then I feel terrible because I lost my temper with her. And anyway,
you should look at it like a test of your compassion and kindness.
Okay. I had a really interesting thing happen, and I was just kind of curious what your feedback would be on it. I totally understand what Kenneth was talking about in dealing with frustrating people, and the management company where I live is they're just terrible, but I've been since I've been under your teachings, I'm much more compassionate and I'm not as reactive at all when they do terrible things. But because of my frustration with the dog, I was upset, and I sent an email to my manager and her boss about something that was terrible going on. And then after I did it, and when I got up the next morning, I thought, oh, I shouldn't have written that email. I should have done it a different way. And the funny thing was, none of their emails went through.
Okay.
Not one of them. All of my other emails, no problem. But to 3 different people who I sent this one email to that I was really sorry that I had done, none of them went through. It was just this weird thing that just prevented me from doing this thing that I was really sorry that I had done. And then I checked out yesterday why, and nobody knows why they didn't go through. It was just this weird little miracle. I don't know what the right word would be, but I'm just curious what your thoughts were on what could cause something. Do I have like a guardian deva?
It's a natural law called anicca. Nothing is certain. Everything is not certain. See? So you say you send the mail, but this is not certain that the mail will get through or not. So you can look at it as anicca.
It was like this little miracle, anicca. I'm so glad it did not go through. And then I was able to go down to her office yesterday in a good state of mind, and it was a friendly. She doesn't like me, and I don't like her, but it was cordial, and it was fine, and it was short and sweet, and it was the way I wanted to handle it. You know, that I'm doing much better, but I just thought that is just such a weird thing that email that only those emails didn't work. So you just think it's just
anicca.
Anicca. Okay. Well, I'm very grateful that that happened or didn't happen.
You should use it as a lesson to teach you not to react emotionally. When you're emotional, don't react.
Yeah.
Don't say or do anything until you become calm and normal before you react with rationality, not with emotion.
Yeah, I'm much better, but it still happens. And like I did with the dog yesterday, and I've been very, very patient with her and loving. And then it was hurting me physically. She was physically trying to get away from me, and she wouldn't stay still. And I just lost my temper. And then I beat myself up for days. I felt, oh, that's terrible that I lost my temper. So yeah, and it does when I do react in a way that I'm sorry that I did. It's just there's so much more dukkha than if I'd have just, not done it in the first place. So that's the challenge.
Yeah, that's the consequence of not having enough mindfulness to control your mind. So
Absolutely.
you should develop more mindfulness.
For sure. That's that is the key to everything.
Everything.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Chong Lim from Pennsylvania, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Good evening, Dhanajan.
Sorry about your audio. Your audio is not clear. Cannot understand what you're saying. Maybe it's your internet speed is not fast enough. Can you repeat again? Unmute the microphone first and then speak. You have to unmute the microphone. Okay, go ahead, speak.
Good evening, Dhanajan. Can you hear me now?
Yes, but I hardly understand what you're saying. Sorry.
Okay.
You might have to reconnect, come back in again, leave the room and come back in again, okay?
Okay.
All right. Next will be Alfredo from Brazil. Sao Paulo, near Sao Paulo.
Yes.
So how is everything good?
Yes, a little sick.
Little sick with COVID or not?
A little, a virus, grip. My housewife was sick and passed to me.
So you have nothing to say tonight?
Yes, I'm good. Only practice.
Okay. Then keep on practicing.
Sick is good to practice.
Yes.
Not many things
to
thinking and change.
Yeah. Try to learn to live with your sickness. Try to be happy with your sickness.
Yes. Thanks,
Okay.
Bert.
All right. Next, Johanna from Indonesia.
Hello, good evening, Thanajan. Right now, I don't have any question, but so beautiful teaching on loving kindness. It's so beautiful, Thanajan.
Okay. Next, Gavin from Vancouver, Washington.
Hello, John. I don't have any questions today. Thank you.
Let's see. You have your preparation already for coming over?
Everything is going pretty smoothly, more smoothly than I thought so far.
Okay.
So,
yeah, the
biggest thing is just need to make sure the COVID test comes back negative within the time frame.
Okay. Good. I hope everything works out well for you.
Thank you.
All right. Julia from Colorado. You have a lot of wildfire, I heard right now.
Yeah, hello, Ajahn. Thank you for your teachings. Yes, the wildfire was 1,000 yards from the house where I grew up. But the airplane dumped the
chemicals.
Retardant. Yeah. And so it's a good reminder, I think, that 3 degrees makes a lot of difference in the whole world. And then I feel like we are all contributing to the small increase in temperature. Yeah.
So try to live simple, then you won't contribute much.
Yeah.
The more you consume, then the more you're helping create this problem. So try to consume less and consume only the natural products. like fruits, vegetables, and things like that, which doesn't require any manufacturing process. If you can grow your own fruit, grow your own vegetables.
Wow, that would be the very good way to live.
That's one way to reduce your contribution to the carbon dioxide.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And eat less, eat once a day.
I think that maybe I sleep more than the monks and I eat more than the monks, and sometimes I eat chocolate.
So we'll have to blame our defilement, really. It's causing this global warming, nothing else. Our defilement.
Yeah, you're right.
If we live as the Buddha instructed, I think there will be no global warming.
Yeah.
Because we won't be watching television, we won't be driving automobiles, so we won't be creating any carbon dioxide gas.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah. Good reminders. Yeah. Okay, I'll just listen, Ajahn.
No question. You still stay in the same place?
This is my last day.
Last day? So you have to leave tomorrow?
Yeah.
Where are you going? Back home?
Possibly another cabin.
Nearby?
But a higher elevation, and no heat, no running water, no telephone, and no internet. So, but I might stay with some friends for a few weeks first. So I might continue to be able for a few weeks to join these teachings. It's very helpful. I want to apologize. I'm sorry last week that my computer battery ran out and it hung up before the end of the teaching.
No problem at all. You can leave the room anytime as you like.
Okay.
There's no time limit for joining or leaving. Okay.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay. Next, Philip from Malaysia. Where's your buddy?
She's putting the children to sleep because school has already started for some of them.
I see.
But she's listening together with the children in the room. So it's actually also good for them. It's like a bedtime story for them. Yeah. Tarajan, I have a question with regards to your book, Against Defilement, in one of the chapters. I just need some clarification with regards to liberation through concentration and liberation through wisdom, because Situ Vibhuti and deliverance to Panavimukti. I understand the deliverance through wisdom, where that after you come out from your at least your fourth jhana, you do your contemplation on 3 marks of existence, on the 5 khandhas, and you see the impermanence and the non-self and things like that. The part where I don't understand is Sito Vimukti, where noble beings get enlightened through concentration. Does it mean that vipassana never happens in their mind, or do they contemplate vipassana when they are in meditation?
No. In order to become enlightened, you need vipassana with the support of concentration. But here they were talking about people with special, ability to get more than concentration that they basically need. Like all you need is the 4th jhana, but some people might be able to go to the 8th jhana, for instance. and or have this ability to have a psychic power, like collection of past life, recollection of past life, and things like, or connect with spiritual beings. These are considered to be what we call more than we need. When you practice samadhi, all you need is the fourth jhana to get to upekkha. But for some people, maybe in the past life they have learned more than they needed because they didn't know anything about vipassana. So they went through these various types of samadhi besides the fourth jhana. They might go into the eighth or ninth jhana, or they might achieve this psychic power. So these people, once they become enlightened, they have this special gift that those who doesn't have this, haven't this ability would not have. But they also need to have with vipassana. They have to go up to vipassana level to see the Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics of existence, for them to be able to become enlightened. But they had more concentration than they needed. But they can use this special concentration later on after they become enlightened. Like the Buddha, he could use psychic power sometimes to read the mind of other people and to know what the right teaching for these people be, because they know what they think. He knows what they were thinking inside, what they are still stuck with, question. So he can direct his teaching directly to that person's special need. So it's easy to help make people become enlightened, because you can read the mind of other people and know what that person is thinking, or what is that person is still questioning and don't understand. So you need to have both. You have vipassana and samatha, but you don't need more than the basic, which is the fourth jhana for you to have the support the practice of vipassana. And on the other hand, there are other people who is more inclined to use thinking, analyzing, rationalizing, investigating more than the ability to concentrate. They can only concentrate just to the fourth jhana, but their ability to think in many different aspects of things. This will then enable them, when they teach Dhamma to people, then they can teach much more clearly to people who, by using maybe this special skill in analyzing and investigating, to teach people to see or understand the Dhamma that he has acquired. So this is what we call vipassana vimukti. People who are more intellectually inclined, think more. While the ceto vimukti, they don't think much. They don't like to concentrate. So they cannot really explain things in a way that the vipassana vimukti can.
Okay, so the Sito Vimutti, where when they are looking at the Vipassana, they just know the thing, but can't explain it properly, right?
They just know the basic truth. Okay. But to explain to somebody, you have to use analogy or something to compare, because these things are concepts, and sometimes you need something to clarify the concept with. Like the Buddha, when he teaches to farmer, he will teach them using the example of the farmer working, like plowing the field, for instance. It's like when you do vipassana, you have to do it so thoroughly, like a farmer plowing the field. So this is something that for someone who is more endowed with wisdom will be able to use it to teach other people. While those people who is more endowed with concentration, they can use psychic power. Maybe they can connect and teach the Deva instead.
Okay. Yes, Tanjang. Okay, understand. And another part of also the vipassana practice after coming out from meditation is to contemplate. Is there any reason that but for me, I contemplate on death more than the 32 parts of the body for some reason, of another. Death is a stronger contemplation for me, and even on a normal day or whatever, it calms my mind down faster than anything. Is there a reason, or is there a set menu that I have to follow? The body first, the 5 khandhas and things like that. I mean, of course, the 5 khandhas, I do look at it, impermanent, non-self, and things like that. But death just pops up.
You have to contemplate or remind yourself of everything that you are involved with, that you have possession of, that they will all one day come to an end. Like your family, your work, your possession, your money, your house, everything. You have to always remind yourself that everything can go up in smoke anytime without letting you know it ahead of time. So maybe there will be flooding, or there might be fire, wildfire start. Anything can happen. So this is what you want to keep reminding yourself, that everything that you have is anicca. And everything is anatta, in the sense that you cannot control them all the time. You might be able to control them some of the time, most of the time. But there also will always be one time or one day that you will not be able to control them. So that you won't have to resist and creating dukkha for your mind. By resisting the truth, the reality, it can cause you dukkha. But by knowing that this is reality, that you cannot control, that you have to just accept. When you accept reality, then you will have no stress in your mind, no dukkha in your mind. So this is what you want to contemplate or keep reminding yourself of. That everything doesn't belong to you. That everything, there is no self in anything, your body or anything like this. It's just, they are made up of the 4 or the 6 elements. This is something you want to keep reminding yourself of. So when something happened to this thing, then you would have no stress. You will have no anxiety or worry. If you have anxiety or worry, it means you have delusion already. Because you think in terms of yourself, belonging to yourself, things belonging to yourself or yourself. But if you constantly remind you there's no self, there's nothing that belongs to you, then you can eliminate this anxiety and worry. So anytime you worry, when you're still angry or you're still read, that means you're not contemplating the truth. You forget that everything is just, they're all dukkha. For you to have greed for dukkha is stupid, stupidity. But we don't see them as dukkha. We see money as happiness. But in fact, it's not happiness, it's dukkha, suffering. But we don't see that because we don't see the anicca of money. We don't see the impermanence of money.
Yeah, the more you have, the more you worry.
That also.
The more you have, the more worry. Yes.
Because you don't want to lose them. The
Yes.
more you have.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean the concept of self. I mean you have a concept of yourself, but the concept of you is different from someone who is perceiving you. So I mean there is no self there. If you look at it into it carefully, right? So I mean the concept of money, the concept of everything, it's just a concept, idea.
It's idea, but it's also something real for people who are still deluded.
Yeah.
So you want to remind yourself that everything that you have is just they are all temporary possession. And one day, sooner or later, you can lose them. You will lose them sooner or later.
Sooner or later, yes.
So you have to prepare your mind for that eventuality. If you're prepared, then when things happen, you don't get upset. You say, I know this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, ki sira sira.
Yeah. So this is what contemplation means, to constantly remind yourself of the truth of impermanence of things and anatta, no self nature of things. Then you don't cling or expect anything from them. You just take them for what they are. Take them as they are, as they come. And they can change. What is today can be different tomorrow, right?
Yes. Or the next moment.
Yeah. So we constantly be able to adapt to the constant changing of things. That's the purpose of vipassana.
Understand, Ajahn.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Next, Belinda from Singapore.
Good evening, Tajan. I said the mind this week has been hijacked by mental proliferation, very serious.
By the defilement, by the illusion.
Super defilement. So I think maybe best not to dwell more on this, Ajahn, or is it better to talk about?
That's because you don't practice mindfulness. You don't stop your mind from thinking. You let it go wild.
So it's like it feels like the mind. Yeah, it gets so intense that it goes against. It's like a wild elephant. So sometimes there's nothing. The more I tame it, the more it get wild. So sometimes things just like really hijack, the emotional hijack. Like it just doesn't belong to me and my mind. It runs. So
that's the lack of mindfulness. If you have mindfulness, then you can control your elephant, your wild elephant.
So Ajahn, when we are still big in that area, and
you have to strive. You have to put in the effort, and don't take things. You have to take these things seriously.
Yes. So, but when it comes and possess and take over,
so you have to come back and start from the basic. Just recite Bhutto as much as you can. Or keep focusing, watching what your body is doing.
Or is it good to just like go to maybe outside or near the tree or near nature or do something else? Or
it doesn't matter where you can apply mindfulness everywhere. But yes, it's easier to practice mindfulness when you're alone in a environment there where there are no distractions. But if you cannot, then you just have to make do with wherever you are. Do the best you can.
If it helps to listen to like mantras and all,
Yes,
just so not to.
Better to recite the mantra yourself rather than listening to mantra. Because if you have to rely on something external, when that is also anicca, sometimes you cannot rely on them. When you don't have them, what do? You have to be self-sufficient, self-reliant by using your own mantra, listening to your own mantra, or chanting.
I used that a lot when I was a kid, Ajahn, when the ghosts inside the mind, the fake ghosts. And I think last week the two kids asked the fake ghosts that live inside the mind, and we were so scared that I can't sleep, and then I chant a lot, repeatedly mantra, and sometimes they are really ghosts, the real ones. So I practiced that a lot when I was a kid, a lot of trauma and all.
Okay, so try to train yourself in mindfulness.
Just like when I do that when I was a kid. Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Walaiporn. Walaiporn, where are you from? Bangkok?
Namaskar,ท่านอาจารย์เจ้าค่ะ from Bangkok เจ้าค่ะ I have no question today.
Okay. Monica Chen from Malaysia.
Good evening, ท่านอาจารย์ Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. First thing, thank you so much for your book, Beyond Birth. We received it 2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And today I have a question. I saw this Kudala Jataka talking about last time when the Buddha was a bodhisattva, even though he just have a shovel which he used for farming, but he had to take 7 times to give up in order to be an ascetic. So similarly, I also find it very difficult to give up my business license. I'm trying to, but I find that the pull is very strong. I've been struggling for actually many years already. Just want to seek Tan Ajahn's advice. What should I work on to loosen the grip so that I can let go of them?
Of your business?
Yes, because I have acquired my businesses over so long, so it's like become part of me. So, and my daughter is working on it, so, but I find that she's not maybe ready yet. But I find that I've been struggling this, I've been wanting to let go, but somehow the mind finds it very hard to let go, because customer keeps coming back. But then the other part was I was not so keen on doing the business anymore.
Well, I just don't know how to advise you on this, unless you have to think of it as impermanent, and everything has to come to an end one day, sooner or later. And it's just a matter of whether you do it by choice or being forced to do it. If you do it by choice, then there will be no stress, no sadness. But if you are forced to give up, then you will have stress, sadness.
Okay. So it's either by choice or by force.
Right. Sometimes you're forced to give up. Then it can be bitter and you can be sad and can be stressful.
Okay. So then I was just wondering, Tan Ajahn, last time when you were young, you used to visit countries, on holidays. What was the perception then that Tan Ajahn didn't actually attach to all the beauty of the other countries or that?
They're the same. There's something you see with your eyes.
Okay.
And they look exciting when you first look at them. But after you see them for a while, it becomes commonplace and doesn't mean anything to you anymore.
Oh, okay.
Everything is like that. That's why people have to go away from their house, the place where they stay, to go to a new place, to look at new things, because it gives them excitement.
Okay.
So that's why we have people travel back and forth. People from Europe coming to Asia, people from Asia going to Europe, just to see different pictures, different. But after they stay for a while, they want to come back home again, right? There's no place like home, really. When you use sensibility, but sometimes your defilement keep tricking you to say, "Oh, you'll be happier if you go someplace." But after you get there, then you know it's better you come back home. Home is where the heart is, right?
But I still find traveling very exciting.
I know.
So that's why I was thinking how Tan Ajahn can, sort of like not being trapped by all these things, is it?
Well, I was forced to, because I didn't have much money. See, after I finished traveling, I have to start looking for work. I had to start working. Then I was lucky to read Dhamma books, and then it points me to a new direction in which doesn't need money. Meditation doesn't need money. See? So I give up everything else, because everything else that I enjoy or make me happy depends on having money to buy them, to pay for them. And I couldn't afford anything much because I didn't have much money. My income was very basic, just enough to survive, really. So I was really glad when I read about meditation. And when I started meditating, I find that I can be happier than spending money. That money can buy me the happiness from money. I can be happy with the happiness from meditation. So then I say, I give up working, I concentrate on doing meditation, which doesn't require much money.
So it's a blessing in disguise in a way.
In a way.
Yeah.
If I were rich, I might not be ordained as a monk yet. I might not meditate because I would rely on spending money to make me happy.
True. Yeah. Because to have possessions and to give up them is actually takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of effort.
It's like giving addiction, giving up drugs or things that you are addicted to.
Okay.
It's not easy.
Yeah, true.
Unless you look at it as being harmful to your heart, harmful to your mind, causing stress and dukkha.
Okay. Yeah, I think maybe I must take them as addiction. Then probably I can work harder.
Look at it as anicca dukkha anatta.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I get your answer. The answer.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Tan Ajahn.
Yeah, just use vipassana on your business.
Okay.
Apply like you apply it to your body and everything else. Everything you can use the 3 characteristics to apply to let go of your attachment.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Next, Sarah Ann, where are you from? Singapore?
Yes, Ajahn. Thank you so much for your teaching. I start back to do more walking meditation, and sometimes it's still very hard. Sometimes I still feel quite depressed, very, very depressed, and don't want to do the practice anymore. But because I remember your encouragement and you say that it's still possible. So I do a little bit as much as I can. I have a question about contemplation as well. I remember I did the contemplation of the 4 elements at one time, quite some time ago. I had kind of good meditation, and then I did the contemplation, and then I saw my parents, they are just the four elements, and then I felt so detached, and there's nothing for me to hold on to anymore. Like I cannot believe that they are just the four elements. So that was something that put me off. I didn't dare to do that kind of contemplation anymore. Like even the Dharma, I thought that the Dharma should make me happy, but how come when I see this, I cannot accept it, and it doesn't make me happy actually. So that was one thing that I think that was something that kind of like mentally I didn't want to accept it.
That's because your mind is not prepared for this truth yet. You need ubeka, you need equanimity before you can accept this truth, this reality. So that's why you shouldn't skip meditation. You should do meditation until you have equanimity before you start on contemplating on the truth of anicca, on the truth of anatta, the four elements. Because if your mind has no equanimity, it will still react, either sadly or happily, usually sadly.
Thank you.
That's why you have to go through samatha first. You have to develop mindfulness and samadhi first to get to equanimity. Then your mind will then stop reacting emotionally to the truth. Then your mind can agree and accept reality. Right now, whenever you contemplate and makes you feel bad, then it means your mind is not ready yet for contemplation. Okay.
Yes, Ajahn. One more thing, Ajahn. I felt that I didn't do a good job as a daughter. Like when I was rich, I could feed my parents very well, can buy many things for them, because my mom didn't come from a very good background. So I felt that I was really doing a good job, like feeding her whatever she wants. It's only recently that I come to terms that, okay, I accept my situation now. I've given up my job. I've given up everything. I've given up that kind of lifestyle. Only recently when I accepted myself, and then I realized that I'm feeding my own greed more than anything else. So, but this thing about guilt, does it mean if I blame myself more, if I punish myself in this way, and if I have done anything wrong, be it with my parents or with anybody, will this help to lessen the bad karma after that, because I have kind of like punished myself already?
No, what the bad karma you did, you cannot erase them. You will eventually have to reap the consequence of those bad karma. But what you can do, you can use those bad karma as the teacher, teaching you the mistakes that you have done. And then you can then teach yourself not to repeat the same mistakes again. There's no need to have guilty conscience, just to accept that you were wrong, that you did something bad, and that you should not do it again. Correct yourself. But you feel guilty doesn't change anything. But by accepting the mistake that you have done and try to not repeat the same mistake again, that will be better for you.
That means it's pointless to blame myself for so many years. It didn't do any help at all.
Right, what for? What do you get from blaming yourself? Unless you use it as a lesson to teach you that this is something that you shouldn't be doing in the first place. But it's already past and gone. And the only thing you can do now is not to do it again. Then you won't feel any guilty after that, because you won't be doing the same thing again. Some people feel guilty, but they don't. But they keep repeating the same mistake again and again, and keep feeling guilty again and again. I don't know why they want to feel guilty, just to make them feel good, I guess. It's just illusion, just to feel good because you feel guilty.
Okay. Understand. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Alvin Lee from Malaysia, KL, Kuala Lumpur.
Good evening, Tajan. Tajan, can you explain the concept of wisdom developed samadhi again? One mentioned by one time.
Well, when you practice samadhi, normally you use mindfulness, right?
Correct.
You're concentrating on the mantra, keep watching your breath. But sometimes your mind is so restless and agitated by some event before you come to meditation. Maybe you had some issue with somebody and you were angry at that person. So in order to calm your mind down, you might have to use wisdom, like metta. You have to use forgiveness. And wisdom said things already passed, whatever wrong has already been done. There's nothing you can go back and erase it. But you can erase the hatred, the anger that arises from that bad action. So you have to forgive. Once you can forgive, then your mind will calm down and enable you to come back to concentrate on the meditation object. Maybe this is not a good example. Another example is maybe you worry about your parent, they're getting sick, maybe they catch COVID, for instance, and you worry whether they're gonna survive or not. Then it keeps you, bother you, and then until the point where you cannot concentrate on your meditation. So you have to use wisdom, the three characteristics, to apply to your parents. Are your parents anicca or not anicca? Ask yourself, are they permanent or not permanent? Will they die or not? Will they die or not? And you say yes, they will have to die one day, sooner or later, right? They are anatta. Can you control them? Can you protect them from death? You cannot do that either. So when you can see the truth, then you finally accept the truth. Okay, if they're gonna die, what can you do, right? So when you see this, then your mind becomes calm and let go of your worry and anxiety about them. And you can come back and concentrate on the meditation practice. Another example is when you sit and trying to concentrate, but you have been trying for a long time and you sit long enough to cause your body to have painful feeling. Then you can apply wisdom on the painful feeling. Ask yourself, this painful feeling, is it anicca or not? It comes and goes by itself, right? It's anatta. When it comes, you cannot tell it to go away. So what you can do is just to accept it for what it is. Accept that this painful feeling is anicca, dukkha, anatta. Especially anatta, it's a natural process like the rain and the snow. That the rain can fall at any time. Once it falls, you cannot stop it from falling. Same way with the painful feeling of your body. So you accept this painful feeling and give up your desire to run away from this painful feeling or to stop this painful feeling by switching your body position. So once your mind accepts this truth, your mind can calm down and be more or less have some upekkha, depending on the intensity of your painful experience. The more painful, then when your mind let go, the mind will be have more equanimity, and it can coexist with the pain. of the body. This is also called wisdom developed samadhi. Wisdom use vipassana or use the three characteristics of existence to calm your mind from restlessness and agitation.
So once you calm your mind, you still have to go through the mindfulness, then samadhi. And
it depends. If sometimes it goes all the way to the fourth jhana automatically. But when you understand the nature of painful feeling and let go of it. Then your mind remain calm and still, so you don't need to do any more mindfulness or anything.
very clear, understood, Dhanaja. Thank you.
So there are many different types of wisdom developed samadhi. The simple one and the hard one, like when you have to deal with death or painful feeling. Then you can get your mind to veka. Like you happen to be attacked by some wild animals, and you investigate that this body is not mine, it's anicca. Okay, if this is what's gonna happen, let it happen. Then your mind can suddenly go into calm right away also. Go into samadhi right away.
Even with the pain and the attack, the wound.
Yes, the object, the thing that will attack you, will cause you death. If you can see that death could be imminent and you willingly accept death, then your mind can let go of your attachment to the body. And then it will then enter into jhana, into samadhi right away.
You can practice this, basically you can also practice during on your deathbed, right? So when you are about
that's a long way to go. So sometimes it takes a while.
Yeah.
So sometimes you want to achieve this quickly, so you go into the forest where there might be some tigers or some wild animals that might come and attack you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still meditating in the at home in the comfort of my room.
Yeah. So you cannot apply wisdom developed samadhi.
No. Yeah, the most I can do.
Except for the simple one, like worrying about your family, your income, your business, whatever.
And the pain as well, sitting down on the pain.
Yeah.
Okay, very clear, Dhanaja. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Next, Alexander Aruka. Welcome back. I haven't seen you for a while. I recognize the name, but not the face. You look different.
Yeah, all the time.
You have beard now. You have long hair.
Yeah, I was inspired by you, so I shaved it all, first. Also, it seems like it's also nice that it helps us to discharacterize us. If I have a hair, I have to do like this or like that, so I have to look at mirror and things like that. But here it's cold also, huh? It's end of the winter now. So and after all, we cut the hair, they grow again. Cut it, it grows again. So it's one more job to do. But yes, it's how to say? Yeah, it changed outside also the way the relations, but inside we still the same, the same one, and
same mind, same body.
Yeah, trying to go for the nobody anymore. Studying hard and trying with ramps and landings, So by ramp and landing, I learned that take a time if you have had ever jhana experience. even when it's small or low quantities, I noticed that we need a period to understand what it is and to realize when we don't have the teacher beside us, I mean, when we are doing that, you are almost beside us, like you said. I have my studio, and you are in the Zoom anytime I will need, almost every week. So, but I noticed that when we are distant from the teacher, so it cannot be repeated the same conditions again, because I was very enthusiastic. So the Utacha Kucha and the mind start to be very busy. And then I met you same week. And then my neighbor find out, change character and start to, so it was a lot of new things for me. So my mind was very agitated for many times. And then I break my sila. And then I noticed that by breaking one, you break another and break another. Although you keep meditating, but luckily, I can see it right away, you know, whenever come a bad thought or not everything absolutely, but I can find out, lately I find out things that I didn't recognize was related to breaking sila, okay? So my question is, you are not saying nothing. I think I'm what I say, it makes sense to you, and when you are, because once I heard you at first, I listened at your Dhamma lesson. That really catch me. I was already very intensive because I did this Goenka. So I was very intensive but I use most of times only Anapanasati. So, but I was very intensive in meditate. And then you said, well, by me here, in 2 weeks, or I don't remember if you said 1 week, 2 weeks, you get jhana, you know, for focus and concentration. So did I. But then I had the whole support of all this time intensive meditation. And when I did this 2 weeks, then I hit it by surprise, okay? So to repeat this condition for me, that's my challenge now, here in where I am. And but I succeed, like I said, ramps and landings. But I have one question is about the rituals, you know, about Sotapanna. So I understood that the skeptic thoughts, if you have had jhana, you know you are not this body. So you know that you what Buddha said is right. You prove it. And by Paticca yeah, also, I mean, I don't have much problem with faith on Buddha teachings and also to know that I'm not this thing, you know. My thing is about if the moon have power and change and affect the waters, I am water, so it affects me, right? So if I make if I made a study of my in South India horoscope zodiac, I made a study of myself. It was like a manual, was exactly me, and I never knew it before. It was I find it out later. It was nothing like I thought before for Western horoscope. Okay, when I saw it, I say, oh, it helped me to know it's kind of a phenomena that's already everything arranged, or more or less, you know. And I remember something. I don't know if that's true. Buddha had something about zodiac. He said, it's very good made, 8% maximal accurate, will be accurate, 20% for us. So how do you advise me to look at this rituals aspect?
Ritual aspect. Ritual is all useless. People do rituals because they think will then help make them feel better by warding away dangers or things that make them feel bad. But in fact, the reason why they feel bad is not because of things happening to them, but it's the desire or their cravings to react to those things that are happening to them, like aging, sickness, and death. People generally react by having the craving desire not to get old, get sick, or die. This is the one that's causing them bad feelings, not the aging, sickness, and death of the body. So once you see the Four Noble Truths, you see the cause of your bad feelings arising from your own desire, then there's no need to go do anything, any rituals. Because people think by doing rituals with them, ward away the sickness or drive away death or something like that. But this thing, you cannot drive them away. They will come at you sooner or later. But they cannot cause you any stress or suffering. If you have wisdom, if you see that everything is anicca, your body is anicca, everything that you possess is anicca, it's temporary. Sooner or later you will have to lose them all. Then you can stop your desire from having the desire not to lose things that you have, not to get old, not to get sick, or not to die. These are the cause of your stress, not the aging, sickness, or death, or the temporariness of things. Your desire for things to be permanent, that's causing your mind stress, unhappiness, sadness. But when you see with wisdom that everything is temporary and you accept it fully, then you will have no any desire to want anything to be permanent anymore. And your mind will have no stress, no suffering. So there's no need to do any rituals, because ritual don't change anything.
Yeah, and if we don't socialize, also those characters are not very important to be. Well, since we turn to life with the Dhamma, so by you talking now, I realized if it is an old program, it's all the packet. What Alexandre Aroca is all my history, where I was born, my language, the school I did, the people I met, and this and that. I have this character, but when I am out of my sense, I'm nothing like this. I just exist. I realize this. And when I'm just meditating, I have no stress, like you said, no agitation, that I want to make some to have something for fun, look astrology or something like this. But then concerns to Sotapanna, could you because perhaps he go to the heaven of the Devas realm, and if that happened, there the years, I don't know if it is relative or not, but the years are much standard, but he don't have the body and the so how it would be for why he come back and not the other way around, because he have many and long time to go? Is because he don't suffer anymore? So what makes it not possible if he is, once you are in the Deva realm and you studied a lot, let's say 30 years, you read all the suttas, and you have a teacher like you, like Ajahn Sushart. So if you reach the Deva helm, why should you come back here and not go up?
Because the force that send you up to the Deva realm is also anicca. It's like rocket. You can send rocket up into space, but when they run out of fuel, they have to fall back down to the earth again.
You still have the desires,
yeah, your desire for sensual pleasure. So when you can no longer find sensual pleasures in the Deva realm, so you have to come back to the human realm again.
Is that like you are going bit by bit, you are going out of your body, even you are here on this planet? Your senses are getting, that's the impression I had once I repeat something I did not did for a long time, was kind of pushing to do it. And I said, I don't have it anymore, but I push, then I get it back.
What do you mean?
I was deep concentrating in this feeling, and then I came back to the old, because I had not this feeling anymore. You know,
because
even these conditions were there, and I had no feeling anymore. But
yes,
I push it sorry.
The concentration is also impermanent. They're not permanent. You can concentrate, then you can lose your concentration. When you lose your concentration, then your mind retreat from jhana and come back to the body again.
Yeah, so it's necessary the first phase until we have it completely incorporated. It's possible also to make let's say 80% of it, because that's my possibility now. I have to go and buy things, and I have contact with people. But not much. But I live in the city. You see, I have a boat that I go sometimes now. Now it's summer. I'm going to start to meditate in the boat. There I can lock myself for a week, things like that. But here it's possible. It's okay, and if we keep going until we reach the monastery, right? That's my aim, but I don't know when, with this whole war, with the changing in the law in Thailand. I don't want, with 63 years old I just made, I don't want just to, I think it can be that I'm gonna be worrying. I don't know. I'm not so sure to just let it go, everything here, and go to the.
I think you should just make where you are a monastery.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, now I have all conditions. I have this teacher.
Yeah.
I can isolate the noise through meditation. I go inside and it don't disturb me anymore. So I win that one also. And it take 100 kilos out of my back if I don't have to push to move. If I can wait until my retirement is 3 years. In 3 years I'm retired. I can move to Thailand. They have a good business, Dutch and the Holland and Thailand. They have a good deal. Everything
No problem.
No problem. I have everything I win here. I get here from my salary. I will get there. So, and I think that's, and you said the dichotomy, you know, in Buddhism. Sometimes every monastery I was, there was some flows, different flows, you know. Some people, like you said, in a monastery, the abbot he is more for the literature and less for the practice. I have seen that in many places. So I don't know if it will be easy to find a monastery also. Therefore, I think in 3 years, if I get there, then I can make it or my house monastery close to my teacher, or I think that was more. It take 100 kilos out of my head. It make me more tranquilo.
Okay, we'll see what happens. It's still a long way, 3 years from now. Right now, stay focused, stay mindful.
I'm gonna let my hair grow, you know, come there like a Jesus.
Then you have things to look after. The longer your hair, then the harder for you to look after your hair. It's easier just to share it. Do it once a month. Do it once a month. That's all you need to do, once a month.
I will keep doing, because it's getting also in another sense that I don't want some different attractions, you know, that I don't like. It's too much tasting. I don't like it. But yeah, I'm gonna shave it again. But you do it in the full moon?
Yeah, the day before full moon. The day before.
Okay. So next time,
once a month, yeah.
Next time I will have a full moon shave.
Yeah, that's right. Every full moon, just shave it. And it's easy because it's not long. You can use it, you know, a razor. It only takes half an hour to do it yourself, or less.
Yeah,
Then you don't have to look up. Then you don't have to look after your hair. You don't have to comb it. You don't have to wash it. You know.
Absolute. And yeah. Yeah, thank you very much, teacher. You were very kind, and I feel very comfortable to speak to you. I think you can feel that I'm much more light in my self, because I make this. I have everything, teacher. Just not mastering yet the jhanas, and I'm gonna start also to one day not eat, one day eat, and 2 days not eat. I'm gonna start it also. I did it before, huh?
That's good. That's good. Moderation in eating can help your meditation practice.
Yeah. Thank you very much, teacher.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Come back again, okay? Don't stay away too long.
Yeah, but you have a lot of students there also, and
yeah,
you gave me a mission. You said master a jhana and stay 7 days without eating. So that's a big target, teacher. It's not easy, but I will do.
I have some students who do this. They go to. I have some students who do this. They fast for 7 days when they go to a private retreat. When they go practice on their own, then they just don't eat for 7 days.
I have a colleague here in the Zoom also. She was in a monastery. She also was 7 days.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Next, Sui and Jack from Vancouver, Canada.
Hello, Anajan. Good evening.
Ajahn, my favorite quote today is the one you said to Kenneth just now. The work is never ending, but the Dharma work has an ending, Ajahn.
That's right.
So I feel like so stupid, like because I keep getting tricked by my mind. Then I want to finish some work, and I keep, but I should focus on the work, the real work that has an ending, Ajahn. Not keep getting tricked by the mind that.
Even when you run out of work, you start looking for more work because you cannot remain still.
So in a way, we look for the work too, like in a way.
That's right, because you want to keep yourself busy, really. And then you complain there's too much work. But when there's no work, then you also complain there's nothing to do. But with the Dhamma work, once you finish the Dhamma work, you don't feel like doing anything anymore. And you're not hurt by not doing anything. You're happy not doing anything.
Yeah, that's the key. It's the Dharma work. Yeah, Dharma work has an ending. Yeah, I like that one.
Okay. Any question?
No question.
About you, Sri?
No questions today, Tanajan.
Okay. And we have Tukta 9008. I think she's just not, she doesn't want to turn on her. Okay, Tukta. Hi, where are you from? Unmute your microphone. Okay.
I'm Thai, but I live in Japan.
In Japan. Okay.
Namaskaran,ค่ะ.
All right. You have
ค่ะ,
a
no
question?
question,ค่ะ.
Did you have,
No
you have
question,
your
ค่ะ. I'm
you
still
have,
working, but I am listening to Prajan and all the questions.
you have your husband listening too?
I try to turn on because I would like me to listen because he start to meditate with me every Saturday.
Okay.
So I just would like him to get all the question that in, and one day I hope he can come to ask question with Prajan,ค่ะ.
All right, good.
ค่ะ สาธุค่ะ
No question from you, huh?
No question today,ค่ะ
Okay. And then we go to Evie from Indonesia. Evie,
Yeah, Ajahn, Namo Buddhaya, Ajahn.
speak a bit louder.
Can Ajahn hear me now?
Okay.
Ajahn, when I'm meditating with the breath, anapanasati, it seems that my focus is more locked in the front of my nose. It's just that I know that is still moving thoughts behind my focus, but not as strong as the focus in my nose. So is there a possibility that this moving thought will disappear?
Possibility of what?
My moving thoughts will disappear.
You're moving thought. What do you mean moving?
Yeah.
Your head moving around?
Yeah, I know that is still a thought moving, but not as strong.
Just ignore it. Just ignore it. It's just mental fabrication. Just keep focused on your breath at the tip of your nose.
Actually, the moving thoughts, it has a stop, but not longer, and is showing up again. If I have a wish or desire, a thought, please you don't arise again. Can you?
No, it's anatta. You cannot force it to go away when it comes up. So let it be, leave it alone. It doesn't hurt you. Just keep focusing on your breath. Then eventually it will disappear by itself.
Yeah, but maybe take 2 hours.
Whatever, maybe 20 years, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so long.
Just leave it alone if you don't want to be frustrated.
Yeah. And another question is, these few days after finishing meditation, I feel something is happening to me. Like if I think, my head will hurt. So I should not think. If I don't think, I feel comfortable in my head. If I think just a little, it will hurt my head immediately. Like this.
Just don't think. Just don't think. Stop thinking is the best solution to everything. Use Bhutto, recite Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto.
I think my head agree more no thinking. I think my head more like no thinking. And how if I have to thinking, I must wait until a few hours after meditation and I just come to normally and can think again. Is this reasonable, Ajahn?
Is it reasonable?
Yeah.
Well, it happens to you, right?
Yes, it
okay.
happens to me now.
So why ask me? It's happened to you. You know it.
Yeah, but it's quite funny. I cannot thinking.
It's only funny because you think it's funny. If you don't think it's funny, then it's not funny. It's all in your thought. It's all in your mind. So stop thinking. Stop thinking. Wasting your time thinking about this thing. Better to stop thinking, clear your mind, make your mind empty, and you feel better that way.
So the Buddha meanings clarify your mind is this, Ajahn, not to think.
That's right, because your thinking is the one that's creating dukkha, creating stress. So when you stop thinking, then all the stress will disappear.
Yeah, I have this, I call the new disease. If I think my head will hurt like this and very hot, no, Ajahn. So I cannot think, just no think. Yeah, like that, Ajahn.
Okay.
Okay, Ajahn.
All right. Next,
Thank you,
Katrina. You're welcome. Katrina from Australia. Haven't seen you in a while. How are you?
Hi, John. I'm good, thank you.
It must be about what, midnight now in Australia?
Yeah. Yep. Everyone's asleep. It's
So-
really good to listen. I find I get really calm and I'm able to sit, but I'm not really meditating a lot unless I'm listening to discourses and listening to your YouTube videos. But I'm just finding
That is good. If you cannot meditate yet, just listening to Dhammatalk.
Okay.
It can help calm your mind to a certain level.
yeah, it's really helpful. But I just have a lot of dukkha with my ego. Just feels like endless ego, and I feed it, and yeah, it's just I don't know if I'm ever gonna come out of it. But yeah, I feel a bit hopeless about that. I don't know. Just have to keep
Try to
listening.
meditate as much as possible. It can help make you feel better.
I just really like someone talking about not, being nobody, and I just don't want to be nobody.
Because we are nobody in the first place. And whether you want to be nobody or not, we are nobody. It's just that we cling to this somebody notion in us, when in fact there's nobody in us. There's no you, no me, no I. There's just knowing and thinking, that's all, in our mind.
Yeah, it's just delusion.
So don't believe in your thoughts. Most of your thoughts are delusional. They're not real. Better listen to the Buddha's thought, the Buddha's teaching. It's real. The Buddha said there's no self. There's just knowing and thinking in your mind. And in your body, there's no you in the body. They're just the four elements. That's all. Look at everything as nature. Your body is nature, your mind is nature. Like the sun, like the moon, the sun, the wind, the rain. This is our nature.
Yeah. It's good to hear talking about as well, like growing food and things that help the planet, and because I have hours in the day and that I can spend doing whatever I want, and I want to do something meaningful with the time. So I want to do like work that's meaningful.
Yeah, do an organic work. Organic work doesn't hurt the environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get back to nature. That's what we should all do.
Yeah.
Get away from all this manufacturing products.
Yeah. I guess my husband has a business, and it's just a lot of striving and a lot of a lot of manufacturing products. Yeah.
All right, no question from you. All right, good to see you.
You too.
And then go to another person, whoever he or she is. Katrina, Sulan.
Hello, Ajahn. Happy to see you again. Hope you are well.
Can you speak a bit louder, please?
Yeah. Hello, Ajahn.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, better now.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Very happy to see you again. And also, at the admin team sent me a copy of your book. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I got 3 questions today.
Okay.
The first question is about metta meditation. So I tried metta meditation, and then I think when I did metta meditation, I feel happy, and then I feel joyful. But then the feeling of happy and joyful, it arise, and then it will also fall away. Then that's normal, right?
Yes, everything is impermanent.
Okay. Then I shouldn't keep wanting to have the happy feeling.
Well, you get happy feeling when you meditate. So if you want to be happy, just keep on meditating. When you stop, then this happiness will disappear. So when you want it to reappear, then you have to re-meditate again.
Yeah. It feels quite unstable, like very temporary also.
Okay, anything else?
My second question is sloth and torpor the same as laziness?
In a way it is, because it makes you feel lazy when you're sleepy. So one way is to eat less. When you don't eat too much, you don't feel sleepy and you don't feel lazy.
Okay. Then my third question is like for Rahula, when he was like very young, at a very young age, then like how come he can understand like the problems of like the samsara and able to tackle them?
Oh, because he had a good teacher. He had a Buddha and the Sariputta as his mentor, his teacher. So they teach him the real information. So it's not hard to understand the real information.
Oh, okay. So by right, all the children should be able to understand when we teach them about.
You have to have a good teacher to teach them. If you yourself don't understand, how can you teach somebody to understand something that you don't understand?
So what is the best way to like share it with like children?
Just share them with what you know, like Dharma, tell them to be kind, be loving, not hurting other people. Simple things first.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right, you're welcome. Next, Gary, Singapore. Gary.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Any question?
Just one quick question. Ajahn, can Ajahn talk a little bit about Samma Sati? What does it mean?
Samma Sati, right mindfulness.
Yes.
Sati is mindfulness, Samma is right. They are There are right mindfulness and wrong mindfulness. Right mindfulness is the kind of mindfulness that stops thinking. While wrong mindfulness is the kind of mindfulness that still keep you thinking. Like when you're working, you have to have mindfulness. Like when you try to do accounting, for instance, you have to be mindful of what you do. But at the same time, you have to think about what you do also. So this is called wrong mindfulness in relationship to the Noble Eightfold Path, because it doesn't stop the mind from thinking.
Okay, so right mindfulness, we are supposed to stop
Just merely
us from thinking.
just to merely know and not think about what you know. Like walking, when you walk, you just know you're walking, but you don't have to think about why you walk or where you go. What, you don't have to do any thinking about your walking.
Okay, and for that, I suppose we have to be
Not
like
walking. Yeah. Like being a monk.
Okay, so we are supposed to have that.
Or go on a retreat. When you go on retreat, then you don't have to think about anything.
Okay, okay. Thank
Because
you.
your goal is to meditate, to stop your mind completely, to make it become still, to have jhana. But you need to start thinking.
So having jhana, meaning we also, that's Samma Samadhi, I suppose. Is that the same?
Yes, some right mindfulness will bring you right samadhi.
Okay.
Not necessarily though. You can also get wrong samadhi. If your mind go into the upajjhara samadhi level, then you might start to communicate with spiritual beings, recollecting past lives, reading the mind of other people.
Okay, that's wrong
Samadhi.
Wrong samadhi.
Because it doesn't give you any equanimity. Okay.
Very clear. Thank you, Tanachan.
Next, Jalka. You've been all around the place. I thought you were in the earlier in the up there, and now you move back down to the last.
You know, I think. Thank you, Tanajan, for your teaching. It's very beautiful today. That I have been having difficulty with the internet connection, so I'm at work and kind of squatting in the hallway because they hear the reception is better, but still it was in and out. So my question, Tanajan, is this: that from Buddha's teachings that nothing is guaranteed as I see it, but what does one do? Or can do or try to do to guarantee, again, guarantee is probably wrong, that to come back as a human being, a human rebirth, I meant.
By maintaining the 5 precepts, and this will prevent you from falling down below the human level. Just give the 5 precepts. This will guarantee your human birth, new human birth.
But to be able to draw into Lord Buddha's teaching, that's another story, right?
Well, it depends when you're born, where you're born. If you happen to be born in a planet or a country where there's no Buddha's teaching, and you wouldn't know anything about Buddha's teaching. Because what you might have learned this lifetime might be forgotten by the time you take another human birth. Except when you become a Sotapanna, then the teaching of the Buddha will remain fixed in the mind forever. The Four Noble Truths will be fixed in the mind of a noble disciple. But for ordinary people who hasn't yet reached that stage, they will lose all the information that they have gathered in this lifetime. So what are you waiting for? Try to do as much as you can now. And don't worry about your next human life. Make it your last lifetime, make it your last birth. By keep meditating, by keep practicing mindfulness, and by constantly reminding yourself of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Dharma.
All right. I think everybody has asked their question. So it's time for Facebook question now. Any questions from Facebook?
Yes, there are 3 questions from Facebook and all from Pauline Soon. The first question is how to understand and practice the Eight Noble Path.
Well, you have to study what the Eight Noble Eightfold Path is. Like Samadhi, right view. What is right view? Right view is to have the view that the mind and body are separate. They're not the same thing. The mind is permanent while the body is temporary. And the mind can be reborn high or low depending on the good or bad karma. And if the mind wants to stop rebirth, the mind has to meditate to get rid of all the defilements in the mind. So this is what we call right view. Once you have right view, then you will have right thought, right action, right livelihood, right mindfulness, and right samadhi. This is just briefly. So you have to study the Noble Eightfold Path and try to follow the path.
And second question, how do the realization look like?
It's like eating. When you feel full, that's how it looks like. You know that I'm full. I can no longer eat anymore. Same way with realization. When you have attempt to enlightenment, you feel content. You don't feel you want anything. You need anything anymore.
And the third question is, how do the practicing of vipassana look like after samadhi?
Well, samadhi is to calm your mind, to still your mind. Vipassana is to teach your mind of the Four Noble Truths of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Okay.
And one more question, Thanachan. Last question is, let's say if we are facing the phenomenon of anger and unhappiness, and what should we do?
Well, if you're angry at someone, you should forgive them. If you can forgive them, then your anger will disappear. If you cannot forgive, then you should use mindfulness and meditate to stop the mind from thinking about the person who caused you anger. Once you forget about the person, then your anger will disappear. All right, any more questions from Facebook? That's all, right? 3 questions.
That's all.
Anybody else would like to ask another round? Belinda? Okay.
I just have 2 questions. I hope I can cut it short. About fear. So it goes back to the ghost movie. The first, when I was a kid, I watched a ghost movie and I got very frightened. I can't sleep, and then I disturb others. I rely on my siblings, and I couldn't sleep. And then when my dad returned and then he gave me some alcohol, I think I was less than 5 then. So after the alcohol, I could sleep. So I didn't have that problem of sleepless night. Then I realized as I grow older, I would challenge myself to watch ghost stories, just so to overcome that the ghosts that I created in the mind. I sort of face the music. Then some day back, when I was doing my assignment, there was a question asked: if there's a ghost story is scaring people, but why people still pay and watch? So if you get stressed, and why people still pay to watch ghost movie? So after done some research on that, and I realized because we are addicted to adrenaline rush, the thrill of like getting scared, and then that's why myself I do bungee jump, and I'm very afraid of height, and I would challenge myself and do bungee jump. So such things are, it's called courage, but on the other hand, it's just like Venerable Angulimala. He has a lot of courage, but his courage is put it in the wrong way, where he is a warrior and he kills because of ignorance. But because of that courage, he could train himself, and then he gained enlightenment as an arahant too. Of course, he paid his karma during that time. So I think just now I heard you asked Sarah. You talk to Sarah, then you say some people are addicted to feeling guilty, and then we repeat certain cycles. So maybe Ajahn can comment on that, like such adrenaline rush, the thrill. Sometimes I know I like roller coaster and things like that, just to like feeling alive. So could Ajahn give us some advice on that? On
because I don't do these things, so I don't have to give advice. I don't do bungee jump, and I go roller coaster ride. I meditate. So
and that was the young days, Ajahn. So younger days we.
The real way of overcoming your fear is to meditate.
So when I was a kid, and a lot of like I have a mantra, Kuan mantra that I recite, and then every time there's fear, I overcome with the mantra. But so when I have the affinity to go to a Goenka teacher's site, we were told not to do any mantra, no chanting, no nothing, amulets or so. So we are supposed to drop everything. So that at that point I was quite scared, but then I challenged myself. Okay, Anapanasati. And then Anapanasati was just to observe the breath as it is. And I felt it was very helpful because at that point I was practicing yoga. And at some point, the pranayama is too much using or intentional. So Anapanasati was just taking things as it is. Then I found peace at that time. Then I learned not to chant. I learned to put attention back to the body. So now that I come back to Thai Forest Sangha, and then I was told to chant a lot of Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. So I'm not quite used to Buddha way of chanting. And I learned from one teacher, Mahasi tradition. I also told about noting, like if I have emotions, then I note certain emotion as that. And then I just, whenever I note and I go back to my breath, I note the emotion. I note that, like if there's sleepiness arise, I just note. Yeah. Anyway, just a lot of questions, a lot of thoughts on that. And then I will have a question also coming from Alex Saro. He asked a question about looking back into like horoscope and all. So there are many types of horoscopes. So somebody brought me to Thai temple in northern Malaysia, and then so it was Thai method to do calculations, and then the person that the fortune teller said that I have a big weakness. That is dosa. And then he asked me, do you know why you have this? And my answer, based on science, I think it's genetic, because I've seen both my parents are very angry people. So then I thought maybe there's some learning, and as well as it's in the gene. And then he told me it's because my mom conceived me, and my parents had arguments, so I have picked up the energy from my mom. So then he told the person beside me, if I get angry, please do not take her personal, because she cannot control that. Then my question that I asked the fortune teller, I say, I've been learning Vipassana, would that be able to solve this problem? And he didn't answer me anything. So then I take this dosa very seriously, Ajahn.
How can you talk about something that doesn't exist? Ghosts don't exist.
So when this is saying as I talked to you earlier,
what you see is not ghosts. What you see are all mental fabrication.
Yes, Ajahn, I know that So as I was talking to you the first round, I laugh. That's because there's a lot of stress in the mind, and I know these are not real. But just like Karen say, there's tendency to beat up the self for that fake dosa that we the defilement that is happening to us, and yet we do it, and then we create karma, and yeah, ultimately everything is empty, but still we learn to get away from the cycle of repeating mistakes, the addiction to soul and all. So it's so many things to talk. It's just so many things that is coming from in the mind. Yeah, Ajahn. So it's very relief when things after things happen, and then to know that it's all this are fake, and it brings about lightheartedness. But again, yeah. So I take this dosa seriously at the same time. I also lightheartedly because no point beating up the self because it's suffering into suffering, and not wanting the dosa, it brings more suffering. So we are we know they are, but yet we are reacting to the mental illness.
You have to stop thinking, stop reacting.
So Ajahn, I find I have trouble now, even chanting. So I do my best to chant even longer chants and a different chanting, whatever that works at that point. Sometimes I just have to walk around. If not, the defilement can just come up, and I can make my cause hurt to myself as well as this, be it verbal or physical.
Yes, you just have to stop your mind from thinking by replacing it with some chanting or reciting of a mantra. Just keep doing that, and then all your mental fabrication will cease, will stop. Then your mind will become calm and peaceful.
So if it's too much, then I could just walk out, or change scene, or do something else.
Yes,
a lot of strategies.
If you cannot continue on sitting, then you can switch your position if you like, but don't stop using mindfulness. Don't stop chanting, or don't stop reciting the mantra.
So sometimes, even when I listen to a discourse, the mind just cannot concentrate. I say it's better than not being there at all. This week there's Ajahn Anand's retreat. Ajahn Anand was very kind to hold retreat. There are days I almost not do it. I wanted to listen, but sometimes I cannot listen at all. It is just going, the mind just got dragged out. Then I just see it as is and then move on to the next stage. And then at times it can absorb into the mind. So I just have to, I watch as is from moment to moment. And then there are times where I could stop it, or I could be rational, I could be calm. But sometimes it goes out of hand. The elephant just budge out of the fence, and then I create harm to the self as well as others. So it's like Karen said, so it's tough. So sometimes we can be very harsh on ourselves as well. Not that I like to laugh. If I talk about it, sometimes I cry, then I laugh. So it's but I find it's easier to laugh it out because it's fake.
You don't have any mindfulness. You don't have any mindfulness. So.
Yeah, Ajahn, it's very hard to restore, and in the environment, the setting, and all. So Ajahn, I seek forgiveness. I don't know. I seek forgiveness from the Buddha. If Ajahn, the triple gem, I seek forgiveness.
What you should seek and not forgiveness. You should seek mindfulness.
Ajahn, it's also this week I have issue with forgiveness.
Because forgiveness doesn't help you. What you need is mindfulness. Keep reciting the mantra.
So when we seek for forgiveness, as it doesn't work, Ajahn.
No one hold any grudge against you. So you don't need any forgiveness from anybody. What you need is mindfulness to calm yourself down. Okay.
Then how about forgiving the self, Ajahn?
Or there's
Doesn't
no
matter whether you forgive or you don't forgive. If you don't have mindfulness, you still can go crazy.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Ajahn.
Get mindfulness. That's all you need. This will solve your problem. Just keep reciting the mantra and stop thinking about everything else. Just forget about everything.
But I do my best, not like attending to the Dhammatalk. I would tell myself, even I like it or not, I just said I like to attend as is, and I just want to face the
That's part of it. But the remaining time, you should keep reciting mantra all day long, all night long until you go to sleep. Okay.
Does it help if you change strategy? Like if I drop out the Buddha and then I change different mantra, or then I change to Aham, Avero, Homi, and all that.
Anything is okay. Just do it. Yeah, just do it.
Okay.
And stick with it. Don't do it for just 2 or 3 minutes and stop. And then start thinking for 2 or 3 hours and come back and do your mantra again. This won't work. You have to keep on reciting the mantra. Whatever type of mantra you want to use is okay. Okay. All right.
But Ajahn, if let's say the mind the defilements start to come up, can I scold the mind?
That's because you don't have mindfulness. Don't scold. Just keep reciting the mantra.
Okay. Do I need to whip the wild elephant, the fake elephant?
When you scold, you still keep thinking.
Yeah.
So keep reciting the mantra. Who are you scolding with anyway? You're scolding with your illusion. Just keep reciting the mantra. Then all the illusion will disappear. All your thoughts are illusional.
Ajahn, I have experienced something of fear before, and but before I get to know Thai forest sangha, I continue the practice. I put my attention on the palm. Every day I practice on that. Every moment when the fear arises, it helps a bit. Can I do that? Can I do that?
I don't know why you didn't do it. You have to prove it for yourself whether it works for you or not.
It works for me one time when
so why stop then? If it works
because
for
like
you.
Ajahn say, the lack of mindfulness. That's the key. Like what Karen said, key. I lost my key. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We just ran out of time.
Thank you so much, Ajahn. Thank you.
We'll continue this meeting again next week. Okay.
Thank you so much, Ajahn.
Okay. Thank you for your participation in this meeting. I hope it is beneficial and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. One day you will become enlightened. In the meantime, if all goes well, I'll see you again next week at the same time. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you,
Thank you, brother. Thank you,
Thank you,
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Wonderful night.
Thank you.
Bye bye, everybody. See you next week.
See you.
ขอบคุณคุณหลาและคุณบอยด้วยนะคะ ขอบคุณนะคะ สวัสดีค่ะ
ครับ สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ